Okay, before I proceed, I just want to say that I'm not a massive fan of horror. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably a 5 when it comes to horror. Um, I enjoy watching them. I'm not gonna lie, I do enjoy watching horrors. But the horror that stood out for me, which I've watched in the past year or two, is probably The Women in Black, as it constantly keeps you on edge. There's a lot of tension built. You're constantly on edge, literally. Like when I watched it with my family, it wasn't as bad, but when I watched it with my friends, it was even worse. I couldn't sleep without the light on for like 2 weeks. But I think it's because it's obviously set in that stereotypical dark area where no one goes. It's a haunted house, it's a dark house. The houses are usually big mansions, like disowned. Usually someone rich has lived there, like a royal usually. I notice like with these horror movies it's usually a royal person that's lived in the house and they've come back to haunt the next person that's gonna live in the house. And yeah, it's just got that stereotypical thing about being a horror. Also, what attracted me to watching it was Daniel Radcliffe, as I really enjoy him, like enjoy watching him as an actor on screen, from Harry Potter to The Woman in Black. I just thought, like, why not watch it? Because obviously he played this innocent boy in Harry Potter, and then in The Woman in Black he was doing silly things. Like, he was living in this house that's been haunted. Like, no one goes there. Why did he go there? And you're constantly like, why are you going into the house? No one lives there. It's haunted. It's out in the middle of nowhere. You're not going to get help. But then that's what keeps the adrenaline up. Like when you're constantly on edge and you're like, no, don't do this to a certain character. And it's always stereotypically that drives you to watching horrors, because you know that character's going to do something silly and walk into a house and just like have encounters with ghosts. But it's one of those films that you want to watch, but then again you don't want to watch because you're scared of what's going to happen. Like, the scene that stood out for me the most was when he was in a dark room and he was having visions of this woman hanging herself, and there was a rocking chair. The rocking chair is always like a key thing that stands out in horror movies. Someone's always in a rocking chair. That's really eerie. Yeah, it's always an old lady usually. And like the vision of the woman hanging herself was really creepy, like very creepy. Like, I tried to not watch that scene, but there was a part of me that drove me to watching it, and that freaked me out. I think that's what people do with horrors. They always know that there's a part that they don't want to see, or they don't even want to see the movie. But like, it's a social thing. Like, you can speak to your peers about it, and like anyone you meet usually watches the same films, and it's just something that keeps the social thing going, which I like about horrors, even though I don't watch many horrors. But yes, that's my analysis of The Women in Black.